Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to go ahead and do the holistic review, the holistic with a W, the psychic meeting reading for the week, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to say exactly what's going on. So basically what I can see is what's called stem value, and then stem value goes to, is it time yet? Is it anything of that nature? Is it anything that should be going? But there is something I see, like more offerings on the table as far as like the holistic community. I do see a type of recovery that is hard. I do see a type of everything that should, but there's going to be all of a sudden this push forward, a sensing of push forward, because they're so highly intuitive and truly attuned to where it needs to be. So when I look at it, I have to say it really was like a type of law enforcement unknown that was positive on getting everything regulated and on the right track. And when I see two cars come out, it had this type of burden that really was so hard on everyone on getting on track and having businesses open that you couldn't even do teamwork or any type of apprenticeship. So when I see this, and it actually was this kind of like, gentle nudge out and a gentle of getting everything going again. It really it hurt a lot of people to say, I really can't go into business with you, or I can't do anything of that nature. I really have to be on my own for a little bit. Some people get really offended. So as I say it, these people are very sensitive to a lot of things, meaning this, like energy, and they're sensitive, like I had said before, to everything that's going on because they're so heavily regulated, even just as much as like I'm feeling this like, oh my gosh, overwhelming. Like all of a sudden there's this pause with this holistic community. It's just as much as big healthcare and insurance companies that when they have a Reiki practice, they literally have to keep everything up to par on that standard. So it can be like this deceitful feeling, but what do we need to push forward on? Basically what you need to know is it's still like circling around and like trying to beat around the bush, and they're trying to make everything work. But when I'm seeing it, it's still this hard pause. And what is it? There's something that's not manifested that they have to work on. When I'm seeing like apothecaries, and I'm seeing homeopathic and naturopathy and Reiki and wellness centers and anything of that, it is fulfilled wishes. And then there's disappointment. And when I see it, I say it's counterintuitive with this Queen of Cups in reverse. What do they actually need to? So let's actually see. Really, really hard. They really need to go about and what I call bone about it. And when they bone about it, it's not derogatory. It basically looks at someone who may have broken a bone and look how they wish upon a star. So when they wish upon a star, they say, I need like a different type of healing. I need a different type of like attunement, because they hear sound so hard that actually they get like deferred and deterred away. These people actually are the ones who are looking for it the most because of narcotics review. So as I'm saying it, it is highly discontented, but how can that holistic community help with someone who has to, with their doctor, as prescribed, wean down from something like that? Or maybe they actually have to get off the medical marijuana or anything of that nature. So basically what you have to do is you have to say, working with your doctor, it is actually like helping that energy get in and out of them, a positive out of the negative, and then actually helping them learn how to relax. That's where a lot of people need help. So when it actually goes down to simplicity, it'll actually go down to eating. And that is where that holistic community needs to focus on. It really has no logic to it when it first comes through the door. And it really is nasty emotions, but it has a lot of pent up negative toxic energy within them. So communication comes in fast and it comes off as ornery and unable to control their thoughts to their words, and they're getting it out too much. So when I see the Page of Wands, like I said, it's a put out at first. So it comes with a finality of relief. So is this true? Is this something of a false start? Let's look at another deck, because I see something. This energy is this Knight of Wands, which comes charging in. It really does. All right. Let's look at the Akashic Tarot. I'm really seeing about 10 days where they're still doing like hard universal precautions as far as immunity. I'm seeing a coming out and really a full force in May. Here we go. There's like an ending where there's more growth to this community. And it's because it's heavily weighted already. And when I see this, it's already documented where it should be. And when I see this Divine Physician card in reverse, they are practitioners. They are not doctors per se. So that is where people are getting a little tripped up, the DPH and all of them would say. So that is why it's a free will choice to use it in conjunction and conjuncture. So we still have the arguments on the table. I do see the contracts. I do see the foot in the doors, but it is hard. It really is hard. The King of Scrolls says, you have to kind of step away from that safe, like a gun safe or anything like that. That's what I'm trying to show you. It's not an actual gun. There's something about this Ark of Covenant in reverse again where you can't contain it. So when I see this, it is a lack of like travel per se. I want to say per se again, but it really is a climb up. So I feel maybe they're looking at a little bit more sound therapy. They're looking at everything that it should be. I don't know why I hear more of a deter of something about the mind. And it's not something that usually you can call upon with mediumship. So when I look at it and I say there is no balance, when you actually are hearing like messengers of what they should be, there's something that wants to come through. There's a breaking through and a breaking apart that wants to actually cut through, and it's a different type of energy. It's not from the universe. It really is from the collective, and it's a little bit karmic, but it will set it on straight to where it needs to be in that community. So it's prosperous because they really do like it. And when I see this and I see the summer and the winter, you want to say fall, but really it's in the springtime, and it's around the April 19th mark, unknown year, where it ends this huge strike. This lightning bolt means the true strike of I'm putting my foot down and I'm not going to do this anymore. So when I see the lookout in reverse, you can't really see it coming. All of a sudden it's right there. And this Queen of Roses truly says it's going to be a good offering in the next week. to many, many. It really is talking about intricacies and industry of buildup. So they're there, they're where they need to be, and now they need to grow. Here we go. Starseed Oracle for an intuition. When I'm seeing the co-ops and I'm seeing the farmers market, I do see positive as something that was fair, that maybe it shouldn't be as good as a cultivation. Still watch your meats as the way it was talking in the media, but it's something about when it says whale and orca elders, is share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. It really shows on how hard it is to actually chisel away. So when you actually like chisel away at this, you got to stand still and actually say, no, I heard it myself. I feel. Usually, if you're hearing your own self, you're just going to go to it and just do it. It's autopilot if it's just you. When you see cosmic ancestor and you see seed the light by staying grounded, when you're grounded, you can look at somebody in the eye plainly and say "no" so confidently, or yes confidently, without anyone helping you, that you really do say that you pave a path, even if it's something simple. It really is. So when I actually look at this and I say birthing creations and tapestry of life, the expression literally means like it's like reborn. Something is reborn. And it really was in the 60s and 70s that they really tried hard to get started. So when you say it and you say you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings, it literally will. It literally will. It starts cultivating, and then it starts like remembering on what it needs to do. It'll come through and it'll make everything, all those gaps that we are having in that community, be solid. Absolutely be solid. When I see it and I see defenselessness and righting past wrongs and uprooting, there will be some moving and some movement, and you'll see why, and you'll understand why finally. But basically, it means, just make love to life. That's what it's saying. Get ready to actually move forward positively with that. Even if it's something, if you don't even do any participation in that community, or go to a wellness center and get your massage, chiropractic, anything like that, you literally like come home and say, no, I got it out of me in your own way and positively, and you ate dinner and you were able to complete out tasks. So basically, there is some things too. They're constantly like uploading and downloading. They're uploaders and downloaders, as I say. And when they do that, they have to balance themselves and their energies. They're constantly ebbing and flowing. So sometimes it's okay to stay quiet and build your own business like that. There we go. Next, let's look at the Black Obsidian Rooms. All right, there is strength this week for this community. Despite even the tariffs, despite anything going on, just go about order and build up your business in a positive way, and everything that it should be is a type of wheel of luck that came down from the universe. As I say, just clear energy. Like I heard it, I felt it, I saw it, and it will truly ash whatever was impeding. Truly, when you say this, it's so solid. When you see so wool, that you actually say you actually are looking and like keeping tabs in different areas that you can actually go there and be good. It really is gift. It's like this type of gift, and gifting, it really is a knowing. It's like gifting out intuition and instinct, rebuilding. It really was this hidden game that was meant to be well, but then all of a sudden it goes, yes, it gets highly defensive. Everything gets highly defensive. I wouldn't blame you, because you walked in and then you got, $175 worth of feast. and you didn't even know it was right there. So that actually comes through, and it is normal to have your intuition and just running off sheer instinct where your chakras are off and your energies are off, to where you're actually run down and feeling burnt out, and then you get sick. So that is where, it makes no sense why wound ho, which is joy, comes out. It has to do with ill fate. Ill fate. You can connect the dots what ill fate is. It really comes in from this type of warrior that stands by. And these guys are actually usually really good, the holistic community, on picking it apart, on the type of trolling that comes in towards that community and their patients and their clients and their customers. Here we go. To close it out, let's look at Literary Witches Oracle, and then we will be done for the night. Here it is. Health and toxicity. I see people weaning off OTCs and elixirs and cough medicine, and that is the only challenge for the rest of the week for that community, is dealing with that. They'll understand when they put it together with cauldron. They're gonna understand, like, in their own intuitive way. It's like a mixing pot done well, to where it looks like grotesque humor, as it says on a type of trolling. And then you say, like, a quiet growth, and you say, yeah, some of my patients have come back, or my clients or my customers, however they identify the people coming to their business, and they say, we could see that coming very well and very hard. It really, sometimes they just come in for a change in perspective, and it really is known, and it's really not like a scary card, the skull picture, but it's just like to be known. And this white dress means you need to get away. You need to get away. It really is solidified with this house, highly solidified. All right. So with that being said, that's all I have to say. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.